Tidy up this place.
No!
Wow! How did you guys do it?
We got cleaners.
Cleaners?
You know it, Dad.
Cleaner, it works.
Coming up next on Plus TV, Plus News. Join our news team for half hour of local and national news. Plus News, informative, balanced, accurate, and current.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. There will also be a bike rally throughout the streets of Blue Creek and Belize City on February 7th and 14th respectively. All participants will get a free oil change. Check out our Facebook page for more details. Love Your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February, only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
Welcome to Plus News for today. My name is LJ Wade. In the headlines for tonight's newscast, UDP no-show at the protest at today's House meeting, and we'll have more stories on this up next in our newscast. Stay tuned.
This is brought to you through the courtesy of Builders Hardware, your home improvement warehouse.
So this is how much I work to you then?
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure. You ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic.
Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble?
The poor man out there, man, that's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower, she wants a garden.
But builders, they're too far,
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Ken!
Ota!
Like you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware.
I'm coming back to your heart.
Foundations. Your work must be grounded upon solid rock, and so should your faith. Join Pastor Louis Wade Jr. weekly for Foundations Bible Study, where he goes deep into the Word of God with biblical teachings for better understanding.
A person might have potential inside of them, a desire to fulfill something, but the word of the Lord can bring that out of a person. Amen? So in the case of
Welcome to Plus News for Friday, February 6th. I am LJ Wade. The proposed BTL acquisition of Smart has been placed on pause. That is one of the major announcements that came out of the newly renovated National Assembly building at the sitting of the House of Representatives this afternoon. Protests and press conferences by those in opposition to the buyover of BTL's competition have been ongoing for several weeks. In fact, the opposition members were absent today in protest of the proposed acquisition. The announcement specifies a pause and not a cancellation, as was made by the Honorable Michelle Shabat, who explained that whatever the final decision will be, it must result in the Belizean people being the ultimate beneficiaries.
Given the level of public interest and the importance of the telecommunications sector to our economy, it is important that this process proceeds carefully, transparently, and in accordance with the law. The Prime Minister has instructed that there be a pause in discussions related to this matter. This pause is intended to allow the parties involved to further engage the public in a genuine, open, and cordial way, and to ensure that the proper regulatory process is followed. Any proposed acquisition of this nature must first be reviewed by the Public Utilities Commission, which is the independent body mandated to regulate the telecommunications sector. The expectation is that a formal submission of the proposed acquisition will be made to the Public Utilities Commission if and when the boards of the Social Security Board and the Belize Telemedia Limited approve the acquisition, allowing the PUC to consult thoroughly, deliberate on the pros and cons, and make a determination based on evidence, law, and the public interest.
Shabat says that even if the acquisition does not proceed, the Public Utilities Commission is preparing to look at ways to ensure the public is protected, he explained.
The PUC has already begun an independent process to determine if BTL is a dominant player in the market and is prepared to make attendant regulations to govern such a scenario to ensure that consumers are fully protected. Our role is not to preempt or substitute the work of the regulator, but to respect and uphold the integrity of the regulatory framework. Issues such as competition, consumer choices, service quality, pricing, and long-term sector sustainability, among other factors, must be carefully examined. The people of Belize must be the ultimate beneficiaries.
Minister Shabat says that GUB assures the public that the process will be guided by transparency, fairness, and due process, and that the interest of consumers and the national interest will remain paramount. Following the announcement that a pause is being placed on the proposed BTL Smart deal, the Prime Minister met with representatives from the media to offer further clarification on the reasons for the hold. According to the PM, the pause will allow the Public Utilities Commission to get involved, and the PUC will be able to determine whether or not the proposed acquisition is a good deal for Belize.
I think that they put the cart ahead of the horse, the PUC needs to get involved. The PUC, for instance, when BL wants to buy an equipment that costs $30 million, for instance, and they want to make certain expansions, and they want to increase rates, they have to go to the PUC, and the PUC would then take a hard look at what they're doing, look at the numbers, and see if it is correct, if it works or not. And so the same thing applies to telecommunications. And so it is then the minister felt it's only right now that, put everything on hold. There's just been a lot of misinformation from both sides. So he felt that the best thing to do right now is for the PUC to step in and to take a look at what BTL is proposing, and then to see if it is something that is in the best interest of the country. And then they could make a recommendation as to the way forward. To be able to, for the Public Utilities Commission to put everything on a stop and say, okay, guys, we legally should step in. We should have been the first one. You should have come to, and for us to be able to take a look at what is it that you're proposing. So that by itself is we're going to do that. Also, there's supposed to have been regulations a long time ago. I think SMART went to court to make the case that that BTL is a dominant provider, and the court case they won in court, but the previous government never made any kind of implementations or regulations to ensure that there can be some kind of level playing field between both players. So again, because of all that has been happening now, the PUC is saying we need to do regulations. We need to relook at the issue of whether BTL is a dominant provider, and also to look at if it makes sense what BTL is proposing with a merger.
There is no timeline as to how long the pause will be in effect. And while a pause is now in effect in reference to the proposed BTL SpeedNet acquisition, last week the Northern Caucus of the People's United Party issued a press release stating that they are in full support of the move. This announcement came just a few days after a cabinet meeting where it was reportedly agreed upon that there would be no interference from the government. Today, the Prime Minister explained the Northern Caucus's release, stating that the party is separate from the government.
You see, there are two things. One is the cabinet and one is the party. The cabinet, when we made a presentation to us, and as I said, all the questions were answered to our satisfaction. But we felt that we want the process to play out. But then we had an executive meeting, a party executive meeting, and there the national executive felt strongly that we're taking a beating politically, and we're not speaking out. I mean, the UDP has been speaking out. They made a presentation to the UDP, and they have not made a presentation to the PUP. So they felt that it's best then that the caucuses asked for this presentation. We asked for the presentation, and the Northern Caucus, when it was done, the Northern Caucus felt that they needed to make the position known, and that's what happened.
Do you then separate your role as party leader and a leader in the North from your role as Prime Minister? And is it that you as a leader in the North supports it, but then you as the Prime Minister are indecisive?
Hold on, it took you for me to come up with a question. I am the leader of the People's United Party. I am a member of the Northern Caucus. I'm not the leader of the Northern Caucus. And I'm also the Prime Minister. I have to kind of separate my roles. The cabinet did not see where, I don't know where you said you came with the idea that the cabinet was indecisive. The cabinet said we will wait. But we process go through. We don't feel we know where we want to go, but let's allow the public to have for there to be consultations. Now the Northern Caucus, when they met, they decided that they want to put out a press release. And so that's what they did. That was a political issue. Cabinet is the government, so it's separate.
So will you clarify it yourself from the statement of the Northern Caucus, or does the statement mean that you publicly endorse the opposition?
This time I'm a member of the Northern Caucus, and I'll leave it as that.
As we mentioned before, the UDP parliamentary boycotted today's House sitting in resistance to BTL's proposed acquisition of SpeedNet Smart. This was round 3 of the UDP's protests over what the party calls, and we quote, one of the most blatantly corrupt and reckless deals ever foisted upon the Belizean people. In a statement released earlier today, the UDP stated that they refuse to sit and participate in a parliament that is being turned into a rubber stamp, arguing the proposed deal was crafted to benefit the Briceño family and the Ashcroft Alliance, while exposing Belizeans to unnecessary financial risk. The party further insisted that today's walkout was not political theater, but rather an act of conscience, and an act of duty to the people and country of Belize. The absence of the UDP parliamentarians was criticized by those on the other side of the aisle of the National Assembly, particularly as it related to the second reading of the OSH bill. After over a decade in the works, the bill was introduced in the House late last June and underwent further revision and recommendations for amendments. The bill outlines the responsibility of employers, workers, suppliers, designers, and property owners, and introduces important provisions, including whistleblower protections, mandatory reporting of workplace accidents and diseases, and the formation of workplace safety committees. With the absence of the opposition, there was no debate on the OSH bill today, though it was the second reading of the bill. Here are some of the statements of support for the bill made by the PUP-era representatives at today's sitting of the National Assembly.
I find it disappointing that on the second reading of such an important and long overdue piece of legislation, a bill that directly protects the lives, health, and safety of Belizean workers, the opposition chose boycott over responsibility. Right. One has to ask. One has to ask, does the leader of the opposition and the UDP truly care about Belizean worker? Absolutely not. Because if they did, Madam Speaker, they would be here in this House today, debating, contributing, and standing up for the very people this occupational safety and health bill is designed to protect.
That it is a deep disappointment that there is nobody on that side of the House, on the other side of the House today. It is a crying shame, as a matter of fact, Madam Speaker, because this occupational safety and health bill goes to the root of our Belizean reality and the protection of all persons involved. This bill provides for the National Occupational Safety and Health Advisory Committee. Very importantly, this bill also outlines the duties of employers, workers, self-employed persons, manufacturers, suppliers, installers, and other persons at work. There is also the establishment of the committee. There are prohibitions against reprisals or related activities. There are grounds for refusal of work and investigations.
You have heard my colleagues say that it's a shame that the opposition is not here. And I agree with them. But in reality, even when they are here, they don't contribute anything. So they are not missed, Madam Speaker. And we are here to get the people's work done, and that is what we are going to do. But Madam Speaker, even when they had the opportunity, when they were on this side of the House, 13 long years, they did not look out for the Belizean people. They did not look out for the workers of Belize. They did not put this bill as a priority. No, Madam Speaker, they tossed it and said they would not be looking at it. Madam Speaker, so maybe it's a good thing you're not here, because they would have wanted to take credit for this bill this afternoon. But the Belizean people know exactly how this bill got to where it is. And it took a collaboration, a joint task force of the business community and the unions. And I certainly want to congratulate Minister Oscar Requena, who was the Minister of Labor, Minister Florencio, who was also the Minister of Labor, and Minister Karim Musa, who is the current Minister of Labor, and their teams for getting this bill across the finish line, Madam Speaker, because it's important to acknowledge the work done.
Outside the House, the Prime Minister also spoke on the OSH bill, stating that the bill now provides safeguards for workers and employees will now have the power to report unsafe working conditions.
Things in it, but first of all, the employers have to make sure that they protect their employees at all times when they put them to work. As an example, especially in the construction business, build a construction industry. There are many times when you see our workers all the way up on top of a roof, on a zinc, and it has an angle and no rope or no nothing that could hold them back should they slip. And there have been so many sad cases when people slip, they fall, broke their foot, they can't go back to work, and all they could live on is the little that they get from Social Security. Under this bill, we have to try to provide some form of protection for them. And also, it gives a right to the employee to be able to say, hey, I can't work under these conditions because it is hazardous and it does not give me that protection. And then they can be fired for that because then again, they can go and report to the committee.
Another important bill that was presented at today's sitting of the House of Representatives was the National Health Insurance Authority Bill of 2026. Today was the first reading of the bill presented by the Prime Minister, John Briceño.
The bill I present today does not merely adjust existing mechanisms, it creates an entirely new foundation. Cabinet is convinced that a new independent and powerful statutory body, the National Health Insurance Authority, will be better than what presently exists. This legislation empowers the NHI authority with several critical mandates to achieve universal coverage. It will be the sole public payer and strategic purchaser. The authority will act as a single consolidated public payer for all essential primary health services. This centralized power is not for control, but for responsibility to ensure every dollar is spent efficiently to achieve the best health outcomes for our population. It will define and guarantee a universal package of inpatient and outpatient benefits. This package will be developed based on clinical evidence, cost effectiveness, and the principle of equity, ensuring all covered services are available to every Belizean without financial hardships.
The signing of provider contracts will take place on February 19th at 10 a.m. in Belmopan and in San Ignacio at 2 p.m. that same day. Prime Minister Briceño says that once these contracts are signed, the 80,000 eligible residents of the Cayo district can begin to register for NHI at the clinic of their choice. We'll take our first break, and when we return, we'll show you what was taking place outside the House of Representatives. Stay tuned.
What if BTL and Smart came together? What would it mean for you? No price increases. In fact, call prices could drop by 10%. Call anyone on any network. Same fair prices. Signal expanded to where it's needed most, redeploying 43 cell sites, connecting 20,000 more Belizeans. BTL and SpeedNet. Know the facts.
Come to Banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up, let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquet's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquet fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up, let's take flight.
Banquet, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Festival come to this very nation.
In Isaiah 30:29 it says, and you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival, and your hearts will rejoice. The body of Christ will unite, and many hearts will rejoice on the Saturday, March 7, 2026 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 6 p.m. as a Heavenly's Productions brings to you Jesus Festival.
Yeah, Jesus.
Featuring the hottest gospel artist coming out of the Bahamas, Sherwin Gardner.
So I say, with all of my heart and all of my soul, I worship you, O Jah. Tell them that the praise never stops. All I want to do is give you the highest praise.
Also showcasing one of the biggest gospel artists from out of Trinidad and Tobago, Positive, dropping his hit tunes.
Rolling in my two-man army, my Jesus and I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Blessing after blessing, and nothing can hold it back.
And then it's the return of the biggest gospel band in Belize, Heavenly.
I'm gonna be heavenly's for life, serving Jesus Christ.
From Atlanta, Georgia, USA, the daughter of the world-famous televangelist Creflo Dollar, none other than Jordan Dollar, with her hit song. Also highlighting Genesis 501 from Capital City, Pemberton. Blind Sight, Genesis Gospel Band from Sugar City, Orange Walk. Reality Youth, Pastor Herman Blees and the Kings Park Prince team. Pastor Frederick Gordon and Garin Carballo and his GCO group. Remember, Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus. Rocking on the world. I said,
taking place Saturday, March 7, Belize Civic Center from 6 p.m. until. Bring out the entire family for a time of praising God and witnessing souls being saved and lives being recommitted to God. For tickets, call 615-4766. That's 615-4766. Sponsors, Angela's Press, Racina's Imports, Cellular World, Love FM, More FM, Quem Radio, Vibes Radio, Plus TV, Channel 7, Channel 5, and Wave Radio. Come on out and be blessed.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus.
This event today is in response to the government's policy decision for full country coverage of NHI. With the inclusion of Northside Belize District and the Keys, it will now cover about 80% of our population.
The NHI program is not just a policy, it is a promise. A promise that every resident, regardless of their socioeconomic status, will have access to primary care services that are essential for their well-being. And by signing this contract today, we are reinforcing our commitment as a government to this promise.
Together, we are creating a legacy of health security that will benefit generations to come.
I want to let you all know today that we join a nationwide movement towards healthier, more resilient communities. Let us embrace this opportunity to build a healthier Belize where every citizen, every single one can live to the fullest without the burden of healthcare costs holding them back.
Pay early and save more on your 2026 property taxes. From January 1st to March 31st, 2026, your Belize City Council is offering incredible property tax discounts that you won't want to miss. Prepay your annual property tax by January 31st, 2026 and enjoy 15% off. Pay by February 28th and you'll save 10%. And if you pay by March 31st, you'll still enjoy a 5% discount. But wait, there's more! Senior citizens can enjoy a fantastic 35% discount upon full payment of property taxes for the property they reside on, all year round. Please note these discounts are available only to property owners who are up to date with their accounts. As you take advantage of this discount, we kindly remind all property owners of your responsibility to visit City Hall or utilize our online platform to complete your payments and to ensure your contact information is accurately updated in our system. For more details on these incentives, visit our Belize City Council Facebook page or give us a call at 227-3073, extension 261 or 264, or email our revenue department at revenue.admin@BelizeCityCouncil.org. Remember, your property tax supports cleaner streets, infrastructure development, and a city that keeps moving forward. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Mom.
Drop it like it's hot.
So this is how much I work to you then?
So you may want 3 then?
Sure. You ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic.
Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble?
A poor man out there, man. That's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower. She wants a garden.
But builders are too far,
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Ken!
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware.
What was initially anticipated to be a major protest outside the National Assembly building instead unfolded as a rally dominated by supporters of the People's United Party. Over the past few days, tensions have been on the rise, with a number of protests happening in Belize City, where members of the UDP and the various unions made their voices heard regarding their disapproval of BTL's proposed acquisition of SpeedNet. Today was anticipated to be the climax of those protests, the highly anticipated Phase 3 that the UDP had been hinting at earlier in the week. But shortly before today's sitting of the House began, it was learned that the UDP's Phase 3 was a boycott, with the opposition opting to completely withdraw themselves from the House meeting altogether. Police presence on the ground was intense, with officers armed with batons standing at the ready. 2 new cameras were even erected at the steps of the National Assembly to record any acts of violence. But the violence never came. Instead, it was the PUP supporters who showed up with pounding drums and blaring horns. According to the Commissioner of Police, they expected a crowd as both the PUP supporters and the NTUCB applied to demonstrate, but in the end, only the PUP supporters showed up.
We did receive 2 applications, one from the NTUCB and one from the PUP. The one from the NTUCB, they decided to cancel their application for today's protest.
So none was received from the UDP?
No application was received from the opposition.
And the PUP one was approved?
The PUP did submit an application to protest, and that was approved.
While the day was dominated by PUP supporters, around midday, 3 red shirts did pop up in the sea of blue. Mayor Earl Trapp, former UDP chairman Alberto August, and one of their supporters. While they did receive the memo that the UDP would be boycotting today's meeting, they say that they just wanted to see what was happening on the ground.
Sir, we were just passing through Belompan and we said we'll stop on you while up to see what is happening.
Yeah, what's your take on what's happening out here? You have any observations?
No, I just see that members of the People's United Party are here to support their government on this irregular activity, that's all.
Everything happening, in my humble opinion, is absurd.
Yeah.
You know, this doesn't make no sense.
You're outnumbered out here.
Sir, I am a Belizean and I am free to traverse within this country. So why should I mean I have not done anybody wrong?
Well, what kind of irregular questions are you asking?
I mean, I'm a Belizean man, I'm passing through.
Yeah, but you know your party wouldn't be out here at this point in time.
Yes, I know that for sure because my party leader keeps me abreast of the situation. So I know that they wouldn't have been here. I know the unions wouldn't have been here. So yes, we are passing through.
The main question of the day was, what were the PUP demonstrators supporting? Was it BTL's proposed acquisition of SpeedNet or something else? According to Minister Henry Charles Usher, the supporters gathered in front of the House today to lend their support to the USH bill and not the proposed acquisition.
Out there to support the USH bill. It's a very important bill that will be introduced in the House today. It's a historic piece of legislation. It's a shame that the opposition is not here to support this bill.
Could the presence of party supporters not muddy the waters in terms of what their true intent and what your true request was to have them out here?
Of course not. They're here to support the bill, pal, and I think that's important.
Yes, they had placards and they seem to have done away with the placards. Was that at the request of you all to not get the BTL issue involved?
They're here to support the USH bill. I welcome them. I'm happy to see them. I'm always happy to see my party supporters.
Where do you stand?
After about 3 hours of standing outside the building, the group dispersed and the House meeting resumed as planned. After today's sitting of the House of Representatives, the Prime Minister reiterated the comments made by the Honorable Henry Charles, stating that the supporters were there to celebrate the passing of NIH and the USH bill.
I think today more than anything else, it's historic. As I said, the People's United Party's DNA is based on social justice, and today we have 2 very important bills. The first is the the NHI, National Health Insurance, something that started under Said Musa way back in his first government, and today we introduced the bill to be able to enact it as an authority to remove it from Social Security, and also to make the point or to the announcement that I think it's on the 12th of this month we're going to be signing contracts both in Belmopan and in San Ignacio for all the clinics that are going to be offering NHI services in the Car District, approximately 80,000 people. That's historic. It's important. Minister Henry Charles Osha just showed me a text message. He said one of his constituencies, a member from his constituency, just messaged me. He says, "Thanks, Minister, for NHI." He said, "I went to NHI. It cost me $5." So there's so many of those questions. And secondly, the USH bill, a bill that's for 17 years in the making. It was very important for us to be able to, that's goes to the core of the PUP, of social justice. That here we come from a party that started off with Labour, and we consider Labour our partners. We may not agree in everything, like in every family, but at the end of the day, we feel strongly the protection of Labour and feel strongly that they are our partners.
If my memory.
While today's demonstration in front of the National Assembly building was peaceful, Wednesday's protests in Belize City took a different route. After protesting in front of the Social Security building in the old capital, members of the UDP made their way to the Belcan Bridge where they blocked the main thoroughfare. Today, the Compol spoke on the UDP's actions, stating that they violated their protest permit and that charges may be on the way.
It was unfortunate the United Democratic Party decided to violate the agreed upon bond permit, and it may have legal consequences for them. Our decision at that time was based on a professional discretion to have a peaceful outcome rather than escalate to the next level.
And what in relation, so there will be charges. You all have cameras out on that bridge?
Like I mentioned, the violation of the agreed upon bond condition for the protests is unfortunate, and there may be legal consequences for the organizers.
The Commissioner of Police also commented on the charges that were levied against UDP supporter Brian Yellowman Audinet. The Compol stated that members of the UDP reached out to the department, stating that Audinet was sending text messages indicating that he would ensue violence during the protest.
The members of the United Democratic Party reached out to the Belize Police Department of concern that they had that the yellow man was trying to incite violence, and based on that, he was brought in and interviewed. The investigation is ongoing at the moment.
You actually said that members of the party reached out to the police because they were concerned that there was going to be tension.
Yes, there are several members of the United Democratic Party that reached out to the police department based on some text messages that Yellow Man circulated, and they were concerned that it might escalate to violence, and hence the reason he was brought in to be interviewed, and the investigation is ongoing.
So he was released?
Like I mentioned, the investigation is ongoing.
Was that a tactic to de-escalate things and have the people move off the bridge?
Based on the information we received, he was brought in and interviewed, and investigation continued. There are several other things that we need to be able to do, before charges are laid.
We'll take our final break and be back in more news. Stay tuned.
So this is how much I work to you then?
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure. You ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic.
Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble?
The poor man out there, man, that's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower, she wants a garden.
But builders are too far.
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Ken!
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware.
What if detail and smart came together? What would it mean for you? No price increases. In fact, call prices could drop by 10%. Call anyone on any network. Same fair prices. Signal expanded to where it's needed most, redeploying 43 cell sites, connecting 20,000 more Belizeans. BTL and SpeedNet. Know the facts.
Festival come to this very nation.
In Isaiah 30:29 it says, "And you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival, and your heart will rejoice." The body of Christ will unite, and many hearts will rejoice on the Saturday, March 7, 2026 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 6 p.m. as a Heavenly Productions brings to you Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus.
Featuring the hottest gospel artist coming out of the Bahamas, Sherwin Gardner.
So I say, with all of my heart and all of my soul, I worship you, O Jah. Tell them that the praise never stops. All I want to do is give you the highest praise.
Also showcasing one of the biggest gospel gospel artist from out of Trinidad and Tobago, Positive, dropping his hit tunes.
Rolling in my two-man army, my Jesus and I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Blessing after blessing, and nothing can hold it back.
And then it's the return of the biggest gospel band in Belize, Heavenly.
I'm gonna be heavenly for life, serving Jesus Christ.
And all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, USA, the daughter of the world-famous televangelist Creflo Dollar, none other than Jordan Dollar, with her hit song. Also highlighting Genesis 501 from Capital City, Pentapan. Blind Sight, Genesis Gospel Band from Sugar City, Orange Walk. Reality Youth, Pastor Herman Blees and the Kings Park Prince team. Pastor Frederick Gordon and Garin Carballo and his GCO group. Remember Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival, yeah, Jesus, rocking on the world. I said,
Taking place Saturday, March 7, Belize Civic Center from 6 p.m. until. Bring out the entire family for a time of praising God and witnessing souls being saved and lives being recommitted to God. For tickets, call 615-4766. That's 615-4766. Sponsors: Angela's Press, Racina's Imports, Cellular World, Love FM, More FM, Quem Radio, Vibes Radio, PlusTV, Channel 7, Channel 5, and Wave Radio. Come on out and be blessed.
Jesus Festival, yeah, Jesus.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. There will also be a bike rally throughout the streets of Blue Creek and Belize City on February 7th and 14th respectively. All participants will get a free oil change. Check out our Facebook page for more details. Love Your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February, only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
Authorities are working to unmask who is behind the Facebook account of Joseph Ryan Budna, a page known for posting a series of allegations against government officials. Despite Budna's capture in August last year, the page has remained active, including a post that shared footage said to capture the moment of his alleged kidnapping in Orange Walk. As part of a cybercrime investigation, police earlier today detained Budna's brother. However, some members of the public have raised questions, pointing out that the page remained active at the time of the brother's detention at the Belmopan police station. According to those claims, only Budna and one other individual living abroad are able to access the account. Investigations into this matter are ongoing. The European Union, Belize Electricity Limited, and the Ministry of Public Utilities have joined forces to expand electricity access to rural communities across northern and southern Belize. The initiative, which began in 2021, secured funding through a partnership with Light Up Belize and was formally launched a year later with support from the government of Belize. It aims to deliver sustainable power to the villages of Indian Church, San Carlos, San Benito Poite, Halacte, and San Vicente, improving daily life and supporting local agriculture and economic activity. Originally planned as a microgrid project, technical assessments prompted a shift in approach. The plan now includes a 10-mile interconnection to the national grid to serve Indian Church and San Carlos. Minister of Public Utilities, Energy and Logistics, Michelle Shabat, described the project as a major milestone, emphasizing that rural communities must not be left behind in Belize's development.
Access to electricity is fundamental to improving lives, and today we take another important step toward that goal. For many years, the residents of these communities have awaited this moment. Electricity will now support daily household needs, enhance safety, and create new opportunities for education, communication, and entrepreneurship. This project is a clear demonstration that rural communities matter and that development must reach every corner of our nation. This achievement was made possible through collaboration among key partners. The Ministry of Public Utilities, Energy and Logistics proudly led this initiative, working in close coordination with the Ministry of Rural Transformation, the Belize Electricity Limited, and the EU. The electrification of San Carlos and Indian Church marks a major milestone in the ministry's energy access program. With these two new villages now connected, only the village of Fireburn in the Orange Walk district remains without electricity for now. This progress highlights how far we have come in our mission to achieve nationwide energy access. I am pleased to announce that the ministry will electrify Fireburn within this year. This commitment reaffirms our determination to close the remaining gaps and ensure that all Belizeans benefit from modern energy services. It is a powerful reflection of our guiding mantra that no village is to be left behind. This project is particularly significant because San Carlos and Indian Church form part of a productive agricultural region that supplies crops to tables across Belize. Electricity will enable improved irrigation, storage, processing, and value-added activities, strengthening both livelihoods and national food security. By supporting agriculture through energy access, we are investing in the backbone of our rural economy. Farmers and producers will now have greater opportunities to expand operations, reduce losses, and compete more effectively in local and regional markets.
Karika Marin, the General Manager for Distribution and Energy Solutions of BEL, shared the role they played in making this project possible and the impact it will have on the residents of the villages.
This project reflects the strength of collaboration between the European Union, Belize Electricity Limited, and the government of Belize, with support of partners such as Light Up Belize. At its core, it is about ensuring that rural communities are not left behind and that all Belizeans have access to safe, reliable electricity, which supports everyday life, economic development, and opportunity. For BEL, this initiative aligns closely with our commitment to serve communities in a way that is sustainable, inclusive, and responsive to local needs. Electricity has the power to transform how families live, how they farm, how farmers operate, how small businesses grow, and how young people learn and plan for the future. This concept of the project began in 2021 when the European Union, BEL, the government of Belize, and Light Up Belize collaborated to secure funding to electrify unserved villages across the country of Belize. In 2022, a formal agreement between the European Union and BEL, with support from the government of Belize, officially launched this project. I know to you villagers, it may have seemed like years of talking, but we now have meaningful results. This project was originally envisioned as a microgrid project. We would utilize solar power, batteries, and generators to supply electricity. But through community engagement and technical assessments, it was highlighted that these communities of Indian Church and San Carlos are of critical importance. Therefore, the project pivoted and decided to connect these communities directly to the national grid. All partners agreed, and this decision, which ensures not only access to electricity, but long-term reliability and maximum impact on local agriculture and livelihoods. Residents of San Carlos and Indian Church can expand their homes, farms, and productions without concerns of limitations. The project we inaugurate today includes a 10-mile interconnection to the national grid, fully funded by BEL, alongside electrical infrastructure jointly funded by the European Union and BEL, including utility poles, distribution lines, transformers, streetlights, and home wiring. The villagers of Indian Church and San Carlos now have access to electricity, a crucial step to ensure all residents can connect and fully benefit from electricity.
And that's the news. Thank you for joining us. From all of us here at Plus TV, have a good night and God bless.